Welcome everybody to Pathfinder Recap. It is not Thursday, it is a Friday edition of Pathfinder Recap, but it is a recap nonetheless. So last time on Pathfinder, we got lost in the woods.
Yep.
We found a ziggurat. We messed Rokor up.
Yeah.
And we met a badass elf.
Yes, we did.
Then it was so traumatizing for Rokor that we had to take a week off.
Also Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, also Thanksgiving.
But whatever. They don't have Thanksgiving in the Pathfinder world.
That is a lie.
No, they have the harvest.
Yeah.
They don't call it Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that is it. There's the reason why you met this guy. This guy.
I guess it was Thanksgiving. Yeah,
It
fair.
was.
So yes, we're in Alakir. The fog has cleared, and we can finally figure out where we are. Mokot can also figure out where we are, so he sends us a little scry, just letting us know that he's still keeping an eye on us. And we ask him if he can locate the Wavebreaker.
Hold up.
He can. What?
Grab the wall. Fight. There was a fight.
Are we not?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. There was just a huge fight.
There was a big fight, and there was a dragon and an elf.
No. We went in, got fucked up. Literally got fucked up.
Yeah.
We got
you died.
wrecked. No. Wes was unconscious.
Yeah.
And we got Rokor was asleep or stunned or something. We were fucked, okay? So we had to run away. Not run away, we had to tactically retreat. And then reset the entire fight.
Yeah. We napped for an hour.
Grim, again, fell unconscious. Not died. Fell unconscious. He was bleeding out, okay?
Yeah.
He was bleeding out. Because he's such a team player. And that was fine. And then we killed the dragon. That was it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we looted the dragon, and the dragon had a bunch of shit, and we took it. Now?
Yes.
So, fog
Continue.
cleared. Ask Mokot if we can locate the Wravewaker. He does. So we're like, okay, go tell him what's up. We will meet them at Mirren's Luck? Or no?
We'll meet them. No.
Or did we send them back to the fort?
We sent them back to the fort.
Okay.
Be like, just get there safely. Yeah.
Yeah, we're like, we'll meet you back there.
Thank you for your help. We'll say thanks in person when we see you. We got shit to do.
Yeah.
Later.
So then we teleport to our teleportation room in Fort Andron, and immediately summon the council into the war room to plan for the battle, because as the fog cleared, we noticed that the moon was eclipsed or shone. What was it? When it's black? The moon is black.
When it rose black?
Yes. So the moon is now black, which is our bat signal to figure out.
Did you just say bat signal?
Bat signal?
Bat signal?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you're like bad signal, and I'm like,
no.
Bad
It's a good signal. Maybe.
Fuck no.
It's a bat signal. So I don't know. I've had 3 sips. Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, we summoned the council to the war room.
Oh.
We agreed to leave the garrison at the fort for defensive purposes, and then call aid from Kira's brothers Edmund and Bren.
Mm-hmm.
So they disperse, and do you want to?
Oh right.
Oh wait, that didn't happen yet.
No, that didn't happen. Basically,
Yeah.
Yeah. You basically go off and set up a bunch of stuff. You call Edmund, ask if they can give aid to the fort. He said he would grab what guard or what are they called?
The Redland Guard.
Redland Guard to be stationed at the fort while we mobilize the. I feel like we need a badass name for these allied forces, like as a whole. I know each individual part of them have like badass names, but as a whole, we need something. I'm just saying.
Jeff will come up with.
Yes,
one.
absolutely.
Yeah,
so
eventually.
while we mobilize, because as Thomas said in this letter, when the moon rises black, we are to gather with all our allies in Riverstone.
Yeah.
So leaving leaving the fort relatively unguarded. So we kind of need to shore up. She also talks with Bren. It's going to take him a bit longer, but we don't know how long it is. So he mobilizes the Redland Guard there, leaving the Torstone personal guard to look after Tor's down.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very
Got
well
the other. Whew. Yeah. Meanwhile, Grim and Rhea are basically catching up since he has been gone for a while. And while we are waiting a day before the armies move out of Fort Andron to go to Riverstone, Grim takes Rhea takes Rhea aside for kind of a personal one-to-one talk, and he is basically he's being really selfish right now, and ask her to not go, to stay in the fort because he doesn't know what's going to happen in Riverstone. He knows there might be fighting, but he basically wants to protect her. And obviously, Rhea, being the independent woman that Grim fell in love with, fights back and asks how he can ask something like this from her. It's her fight. She needs to be there for her people. She needs to lead her army. And Grim basically apologizes, knows that he's overreacting, and accepts the fact that both of them have to do what they have to do. Plus, I mean, he leaves the fort every time, and it's not like she doesn't worry about him. So yeah, so they have a very touching moment, and they are kind of on they get on the same page, where they are going to do this together, and it's not just on Grim.
It's
so
so
it's
sweet.
it's yeah, it was good. I almost did not want to RP that, because I was like, well, we should get the story moving and on.
But
I think it
aren't
was
you
worth
glad
it.
you did?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So a couple days pass, and the forces arrive. So we have the Redland Guard from Edmund, the First Andron Vanguard.
Oof.
Band names. We have.
Oh, it gets better.
We have the Orphans of Kazadan, which
That's
is like metal.
Metal, yeah, the savage, so savage.
We have even more metal, the Ithilien Vindicators.
Ugh,
from
good.
the Life Tree in Ithilien, all the wood elves that are left from there, and the last Legion from Keldar, from the Keldari Empire. So we're ready to march the next morning, and we head for Riverstone. Let me just you talk about the march, and I need to pull up some texts.
Right.
Because
so
you haven't. I don't think you've read them. I showed them to you, but I don't know if you read them.
Yeah, no. I just was a baller on my perception test. Boop. So basically, the armies march out with the Legion leading. Followed by dwarves. The elves basically scatter off into the woods, the scouting. The Mazarod horse archers actually are the are the formal scouting party, so they go up ahead, and basically the party is dispersed among the armies. The dwarves, being the more rambunctious and energetic of the group, do break out to singing, which draws Grimm's attention, and he hangs out with them. Basically taking the request for songs and giving them a musical accompaniment, even though they really don't need one. Meanwhile, on the ride, there.
Hold up.
Oh, you want to do that?
Hold
Yeah.
up. Yes.
Okay.
Rewind for
no?
a second.
Oh.
I found my text.
Okay.
So, so before we leave, Tay texted this to me while we were playing. He says, before we leave, Wes asked Kira if she would have a private wedding, just the two of them, with Tyleaf as minister. Wes says, if we should march to our last battle, I want to know for eternity our souls be entwined.
That's smooth as fuck! Holy shit!
Right?
What?
Right? That's step 29 of the
of his 47 point.
What steps are there now?
It's just we keep on adding more the further he gets into it.
So anyway, Wes also says, so Tyleaf made 2 enchanted wood rings for their ceremony. And Wes also says, and we can have our royal wedding after we wipe out the blighted bastards. Spoken with a smirk. So as they are marching,
that I don't know. That sounds some pretty foul magic there. The souls intertwined. I could just hear the taxis be like, oh, that would make a great souffle. Entwined soul. Yes, yes.
Anyway, so on the Jesus, so on the march to Riverstone, both Rokar and Grimm pass their perception tests, and they notice the ring on Kira's wedding ring finger. So then Grimm leans over to a dwarf and makes a little request, and they start, and he laughs a lot, and then starts rousing the dwarves into a wedding song, and it's a very, very raunchy, cheeky wedding song.
Yeah, we established it's one of those songs where there is a set chorus, but the verses are just made by anyone, and a dwarf will pick up a verse, and as Jeff mentioned, it's basically things that happened in their weddings or the weddings that they've gone to, and it being a dwarven wedding, well, it's great.
Anyway, so that lifts the spirits of the armies, even the ones that are a little more down in the dumps. But this mood is considerably dampened as we pass Mirren's Luck, which is dark and deserted. Very, very, just very depressing. Everything's dead. Like, nothing is alive here.
It was abandoned by the residents. It was, before the blight has not reached Miriam's Luck yet, but it is just deserted because of the news coming from the east. The old party share a look between each other, just because this was holds a special place in the heart. Miriam's Luck, it's good. It's good.
And that's kind of where their quest actually began, because that's where they found where they saved the kidnapped children.
Found what's his fucking bitch face half orc guy.
Oh, Kurgal.
Goddamn.
That's where they found his arrow. So, lots of memories.
Lots of memories.
But it's completely deserted, and there's a very grim, eerie silence as we march through this deadwood that is Mirren's Luck. Do you want to talk about the next part?
Sure. Yes. Once we're about a couple hours from Miriam's Luck, where the armies decide to set up camp for the night, and the elves emerge from the forest and the Mazard horse archers return to report back that up ahead and by morning there is a group of undead and orcs. So the armies do prepare for battle as they take their rest that night, and in the morning they ride out to battle to meet the I could only say the kind of the advanced scouting party of Zetaxi's army, since it's there.
Yeah.
There's two armies of orcs and two armies of undead. Uh, it's pretty. It was a good clash. I know the first vanguard of Fort Andron took some casualties. So did who is Marcus? No, not the you did the elves.
I played the elves.
Yeah,
the
the
elves did take
Vindicants.
some casualties.
Yeah, as well.
And also Legate Marius loses his right arm,
That sucks.
which is a big deal. And
That's-
because we aren't in a Rogue Trader or Iron Kingdoms universe, he can't get a bionic arm.
But he can get a magical one. Magic.
Magic. Wood.
Or metal. I'm pretty sure dwarven. Something dwarven.
That would be
Something
very
elven.
That'd be heavy as
It could be mithril. It's light.
that'd
Super
be
light.
dragon.
God,
scale?
God,
We have
we have so
have
much
dragon
dragon scale. God.
Oh man. Anyway, so yes, we heal up and we head out to Riverstone. And it's completely decimated, but we do see a shaft of blue light that rises from the center of the town into the sky. So we approach it. We walk into the town square. There's a fountain, which is obviously not running water.
Yep.
In shaft, you fucking. Anyway, so it's a dead fountain in the middle, and just behind it, or very close to it, upon a survived stairwell of a church, is a lone figure holding up. He's got a shield and he's holding up a staff. He's got a staff on his back. He's holding up a spear. And the spear is what the source of this blue light. And so Wes calls out to him? Yeah.
Yeah, Wes just
West goes, Thomas, and the guy looks at him, and his spear retracts because that's the thing.
His spear, the spear that he carried before did not do that. Let's just point that out. When we were with him and he was fighting, he had a returning lightning spear, but it did not retract.
No, so we're like, this is super weird, but anyway, Wes runs up to him and gives him a big hug, and the rest of us follow. And so it is Thomas. It's how we remember him. He has aged a bit, a few years anyway. His hair is graying, but he's still just as handsome as he was when he left. And on his back is a mechanism that is emitting a strange green glow, which makes us very uneasy. It makes us kind of sick to be around.
Yep. He does mention that before he can talk to us, he can only talk to the four of us.
Yeah.
And so our old party members take their leave and get return back to the army out of earshot, and he continues. There you go. Sorry.
So yes, he speaks to the four of us, and he said I didn't write this down, but I do remember kind of what happened. So he went away. He can't really explain to us where he went or when he went, to what time, because it's just like way too complicated, and it's kind of beyond reason. Almost like it's just very, and it's also very secretive. So he's joined this group This what did he call
he
it?
works for an organization, and
Organization.
basically he cannot tell us unless he cannot tell us unless we accept our the kind of plan or the mission to save not only our world but apparently other worlds, which kind of uh, it doesn't make sense to our characters. Okay, it doesn't make sense to us. We know
No,
of
like
planes.
technology doesn't
Yeah,
exist. Like there would be no way to describe it.
yeah, we know of other planes. We don't know of other worlds. This is not something in our reasoning. He continues to say that the organization he works for has had to set things up, and certain things have had to transpire just right for things to be as they are now. And that he can only ask us because our attachment to this world is not as great. Again, we're all really confused, but we're going with it.
Yeah.
He says that he has the organization has been able to keep an eye uh, out for us through our journeys, just to kind of steer us in the correct direction. And when he does say that, a familiar person appears, and it is the monk that not only our first party members saw meditating on top of like a ruined column, but our now party saw when we went through the trial of the mask up in the north and guided us to
Yeah.
the cave of Thanatos. Yeah,
So
which was
yeah,
great.
everything needed to happen just so in order for us to be able to save or to be here at this point now.
Yeah.
To be able to save the remains of the world from the taxis.
hmm
Um
Introduction. You should do this.
Fuck yeah, I should. so, um, so as he's speaking, he's saying that we are like he needs our help to get rid of the undead or whatever.
Well,
Is that what he says?
he
Let's look
takes
it
out
up.
the staff and says that this is the
No,
time.
not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Nope.
yet.
Nope. So he says we need to get rid of them, and a voice from behind us says I might be able to help with that.
Okay,
And
yeah. He
yeah.
says there are some things that he still does not know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like and then there's the voice that I
Yeah.
can.
Then a voice says I might be able to help, and we turn around, and
Thomas even looks a little bit shocked.
yes, and it's gun boobies.
Oh, God.
Arcana from like our very first session. Our old characters met her in an alleyway, and she like beat the shit out of them. And she had guns, which are completely
Okay, one, she beat the shit out of us, and then we went to fuck what's the capital city of the Redlands?
Brenziri.
Brenziri, yeah, and then she beat the crap out of us in Brenziri, and then we went to fucking Torsdown, and she beat the crap out of me.
That's so true.
Fuck.
So she spent the entire first campaign just beating the shit out of us. So like we definitely recognize her. Or our first characters do.
Yeah.
And Thomas also recognizes her, and he
replies with
he looks at her with this like awestruck smile on his face, and he says, I'm afraid I've lost your picture. And she says, well, I'm sure we can get you a new one. The picture that Thomas had that he had to give to that old man was Gwen. Because Gwen and Thomas fell in love in the Iron Kingdom's world, and that is where Thomas went, and Gwen had to also
or Gwen gave a picture. Her picture. to him, and then I guess he put it in a locket, and then he had to give it to the old man. Fuck that old man, by the way.
Yeah,
Fuck that old guy.
He took some big stuff. Anyway, so they're like, she comes and stands next to him and puts her hand on his shoulder, and they have a moment. And we're like, this is what?
This is really awkward.
This is really weird.
There's so much sexual tension. And me and Wes would know about sexual tension.
Oh, for sure. Anyway, so now is the time where Thomas takes the staff off of his back and says, now the conditions are perfect for Zetaxi's defeat. There's only one thing left to do, and which is find the last phylactery.
Get to the last phylactery. We know where it is.
Yes, so we need to find it, and it's beyond the impasse.
Yeah.
And the staff of Cyrus, which is on his back, that he is now holding in front of us, is the key to going into the impasse, because the only people who can, or the only things that can enter the impasse are dead things. So this staff, as long as we're within a radius, will help us, will help mask our life and make us look dead, and then fool the things, the powers, the powers,
magic,
whatever. Yeah, and will allow us to go into the impasse without actually being dead, which is a good thing.
It was good. I like not being dead.
Yeah, not being dead is pretty great.
Yep.
So, we can do this, but when we come out, we will no longer be of this world, and we're not allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to, advertise this. This is just between all of us.
Yeah, and he says that after everything is finished, and and if we're victorious, he would like to recruit us for this mysterious organization he works for, which spurs the Grimm to take him aside and ask him if it's mandatory, which he says it's not, but he does have to maintain secrecy of this organization, which Grimm is just not happy, because there's he maybe misunderstood. He doesn't know what Thomas is implying about keeping secrets, and all the thoughts that Grimm that passed through Grimm's mind were not good ones, because he does have Rhea to think about, and so tough decisions for Grimm personally ahead, but also tough. It's going to be tough for the party as a whole to finish up, because this is it. This is the climax.
This is it. There is one more thing, though, that needs to happen before the war, and that is the election.
Oh, yeah.
So the election must be secured before we go into the impasse, because if there isn't a new Lord Protector, then Zetaxis will try to throw the Redlands into chaos, and that is the exact opposite of what we want.
Yeah.
We want it to be stable so we can defend ourselves, and that's what needs to happen with the election.
He said specifically, he said that the election needs to happen because Zetaxis will try to disrupt it and plunge the Redlands into disarray, or into chaos, and which will the Redlands is basically all that stops Zetaxis from his plan of world destruction.
Destruction.
Not domination. He doesn't care about it. Just world destruction.
Totally.
Yeah. So
that's what happened.
That is it.
Pathfinder.
Yeah, we are.
Grim has some shit to think about.
The party has some shit to do.
Yeah, Thomas and Gwen are here. To help.
That's
It's gonna be great. Yes.
And we are so close to finishing. If you guys did pop in, we are doing stress tests for our homebrew. It's coming together, and you guys should so be excited. Oh!
Oh, good.
Oh!
If you missed the stress test, okay, calm your shit.
Oh, it's so good.
If you missed the stress test, in short, Bunny and Sanka one-shotted each other.
Yep.
And
Magic is a little underpowered, and you had a
Jeff
wet.
and I like half an hour to beat each other because we kept failing our rolls.
It's a wet noodle fight. That was a wet noodle fight.
Yeah.
We
It was
need
a very long
we
time,
need
but
we need to
it
buff
was-
magic, and we had to deal with movement
Yeah.
because that was a big thing. And then we found out that you and Jeff just suck. So
Oh, no.
that's it. Yeah. So this foreshadows. It means that me and a bunny are just going to be one-shotting everything, and then preferably getting one shot as well, and then getting one shot in return.
Yeah,
So we'll
and
be
re-rolling
re-rolling every week, and then you guys are just gonna be wet noodling the entire thing. Cause
You know what? Wet noodling means that you're alive. So I'm okay with that.
I'm doing better than you. You do nothing. Exactly.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. Well, we will see you guys.
how you doing for drinks?
I'm doing great. So we will see you guys in just a few for the people in the stream today, or for Sunday Night RPG this coming Sunday as we make the final home stretch of our Pathfinder campaign. So yeah, stick around. We're just gonna restart the stream real quick for Get Dumped. Stay tuned.
Okay, where is it? There it is. Get Dumped. I really like the music for Get Dumped.